Welcome to all for this session on how to use Algomojo for automation of trades. For in today's demo, we'll be specifically using Zerodha broker. We will also see how do we do the setup or configure the APIs of Zerodha in Algomojo and then use the same for placing orders in Zerodha account. Yes. So in case if anybody has any queries, please let me know. This is our website, algomojo.com. We will start with a small presentation and then we'll get into the actual usage of the platform. Yeah. Now, the agenda today is that we will look at some of the key features and benefits of using Algomojo platform. Then we will look at how do we do an integration with TradingView. We will use a strategy and an indicator in TradingView and see when how those orders will get placed whenever there's a signal coming in from the strategy or from the indicator. Amibroker, we may not do it today, but we will have a small session on Algomojo support and how to contact Algomojo in case if there's any issue to be resolved or if you have any queries about the platform usage. Yeah, in case you have any queries, please do raise them as we go along. And this session is getting recorded. So Algomojo is a web-based platform. We don't have any app either in a mobile phone or in the desktop, laptop to be used. You can use any browser and log into Algomojo platform and start using all the features and facilities that we explain. You can this platform is designed to help you better decide in terms of taking trades and how to automate those signals which you get on your charting tools. Now we have integrated with the popular charting tools like TradingView, Amibroker, MT4, charting kind of platforms. So if you have any strategy that is running in these kind of platforms and if you get buy or sell signals, those signals can be processed and orders can be placed into your Zerodha account automatically without any intervention. Now, we of course support multiple brokers. Zerodha is one of the largest broker in India, and we have quite a huge users from Zerodha's database currently availing our platform. And for automation purpose, whatever execution modules are required or whatever sample codes are required, we provide them in our platform. We have tried to keep this platform as simple as possible and as user friendly as possible. You need not have to have any kind of programming or coding knowledge. All you have to have is a good strategy that you would have practiced it and you would like to use them for taking trades or making investments into stocks. And it could be investment into any kind of stocks. It could be trading in NSE, BSE, indices, options, all the instruments which are currently available in the Indian market for people to trade or invest into. You can uh, place orders in any of these kind of products as such. Of course, we are not integrated for providing services for crypto or for forex kind of trading. It is currently restricted only to the Indian market. Now, some of the key features would include that you can decide what is that you want to trade. Uh, uh, that flexibility is provided to you, and you are not bound by what is readily available. You can set what is that you want to trade. It could be in equities, it could be in futures, it could be in options, it could be in say when you're trading in options, it could be ATM, ITM, or OTM also. Now, ATM and OTM, you get up to 20 strikes, which you can select for placing orders. So whenever there's a signal coming in, suppose you have chosen ITM 5 as the option to be used for trading. We will look at what is the spot price of the instrument and then place orders for ITM 5. So depending on what you select, it could be ITM, OTM, we will take care of order placements. it is the platform is not only suitable for placing orders for buying options. If you're an option writer, you can do that also using a platform. And suppose you want to hedge your main positions by um, taking hedges in options, you can still do that either by buying or selling options for hedge purpose. Now, in case if the quantity that you trade is more than the free limits, we will take care of the order splitting. You need not have to worry about placing multiple orders. Depending on the quantity chosen by you, we will split the orders and place multiple orders in the broker platform. And in terms of risk management, we offer target stop loss and trailing stop loss as features in our uh, platform. These you can use either, or you can set these targets or stop loss or trailing stop loss in points or percentage, or even based on MTM. Now, for swing traders, there's another facility called profit lock. Using that also, you can trail your profits for, especially for people who are into swing trades. Now, of course, you can customize the trade timings in case if you don't want to take any trades in the morning when the volatility is pretty high, or if you don't want to take any trades during the close of the day, you can set those timings. So any signals coming in apart from the timing set will not be processed. So say if you say that you want to take all the signals coming in, say from 9:15 to say 11 o'clock. So we will process all the signals that we receive, and after 11 o'clock, if there are any signals coming in from your charting tool, those will be ignored. Similarly, if you say that you want to trade between 11 o'clock to say 2:30 or 3 o'clock, so we will process the signals received during this um, trading time window that you would have set. So you have that flexibility for start time and end time. And also you can set the square off time and the expiry time as such. Suppose you are an intraday trader, you don't want to wait till the end of the day, say 3:30, 3:15 or 3:20 when the brokers will start squaring off the intraday portion. If you want to square off earlier around say 2:50 or 3 o'clock, you can set the intraday square off time. Similarly, if you are a positional trader and you would like to roll over the positions, you can set the date and time on which your positions need to be rolled over. We will take care of the rollover. In case if there is a position already running, we will close the existing contract and take a new position in the next contract that you would have chosen. So once you do the setups in Algomojo, it becomes pretty consistent in terms of performance. You need not have to interfere or keep looking at what the rollovers to be done or the intraday sit-offs to be or expiries intraday square-offs to be done. You need not have to worry about those things. Our platform will take care after you do the initial setup. So it can keep running day in, day out. It is a one-time setup that you need to do. We will look at how to do those setups when we get into the actual platform usage. Now, for all users, you get a paper trade as a facility. Up to 6 strategies you can test for paper trade. And in terms of live trade, there's no limitation. You can do any number of strategies or any number of stocks for trading purpose. Point to note, paper trading is a facility that we have developed. Um, One moment. Yeah, paper trading is a facility provided for the users to check if the platform is placing orders or processing signals as per your requirement, as per your strategy requirements. It is not it is not meant to be a back testing tool or a forward testing tool kind of thing. So normally for any back testing, one would use historical data of a couple of years and do the testing and then do the forward testing also, and then deploy the strategies for live trading. This is meant only to check if the orders are or the signals are getting processed as per your strategies that you're running. Now, suppose there's a long signal coming in and you want to trade in ITM 5. So when the signal comes in, is the platform able to take the ITM 5 that you had chosen or not? For testing those kind of things, it is the paper trading facility is extended and not for say forward testing or back testing again. Now, yeah, rollover for personal traders, you can set rollovers when you want to do the rollovers. Say, if you want to roll over your positions monthly contracts, say 5 days before the expiry or 1 week before the expiry, you can set those times or time and date. So we will take care of those rollovers as such. You can also limit the number of trades that you want to take. Now, for example, if you don't want to take more than say 3 trades in a day, it could be intraday or it could be positional also. You can specify in our platform the number of trades that you want to trade. And if there are signals more than what you would have specified, we will not process those signals. So if you have set 5 trades to be taken in a day, so after 5 trades, any new signals coming in will be ignored. Now, for option traders, option strategy traders especially, you have the flexibility to choose or set each individual legs separately and execute uh, all the legs based on a single signal. Suppose if there are 4 to 5 legs in the option strategy that you're trying to run, and based on one single signal coming in from your charting tool, all the 5 legs can get executed automatically. Now, you can also set the priority in which the orders need to be executed. Now, in options, which would involve option buying and option writing, so priority can be set to buy the option first and then do the selling part. And similarly, while exiting, you can exit the option selling that you would have done first, and after that, sell the option that you would have bought. So this gives you the flexibility in terms of margin utilization. Now you can get notifications on Telegram. So whenever there's a signal coming in from your charting tool and it is getting processed, you can get a notification on the app. So we have an app called Algomojo Bot. So kindly download the Telegram app in Algomojo. Sorry, Algomojo Bot in Telegram, and there's a client ID which you will get that you will need to copy it and paste it against each of the strategies that you'll be running. So based on the signals received and the orders placed, the notification can be sent across to your Telegram app. The segments that you can trade would include cash markets. It can be for personal trades or even for intraday delivery kind of trades. Now, you can trade in futures, which could be NSE, BSE, even commodities. Sorry. You can trade in any of these indices and equities. And when it comes to options, you can trade in dynamic options or even static options. Now, static option is suppose you want to trade a particular strike price for any given day. You can set the strike price, and any signals coming in, the orders will be placed for that set strike price. Suppose you want to trade only in 25,000 CE, for example. So any signals coming in, we will place the orders to buy or sell on 25,000 CE in Nifty index. Similarly, you can choose any of the other indices. It could be mid cap, Nifty or Bank Nifty, Fin Nifty, etc. Now, when it comes to automation, it is normally done in 2 parts. The first part is where we look at the setup to be done in Algomojo, and after that, there's a the next step is to do the configuration in your charting tool. Today, we'll be looking at Trading View as the charting tool. Any query? Somebody is trying to ask a query. I think. Request all to be on mute. So, yeah, so what we will do is we will look at both the parts. We'll start with Algomojo first and then get into doing the setup in TradingView. Now, this is our website called Algomojo bot. Sorry, algomojo.com. One moment. Um, This is our website now. In case you want to open a new account in Zerodha, you can use this tab called Open an Account, provide your details like name, email ID, and phone number, and select Zerodha as the broker. and submit. It will take you to the Zerodha's account opening page. You will need to complete the account opening process. Once the account is opened, you will get the client ID and the password, which you will need to use for uh, utilizing or for trading using our platform, Algomojo platform. Right now, there's a special offer for people who want to use Zerodha uh, for their trading and investment purposes. If you open a new account using Algomojo as a referral from this place, you will get the APIs of Algomojo free of cost for life. So you will have absolutely no charges to be paid for Algomojo for availing all the facilities that we currently have, and also what we are going to launch in the future dates. And as you are aware, Zerodha also doesn't charge anything for the APIs. Earlier, there used to be a monthly charge of 2,000 rupees, which they have waived off. So the entire API costing towards Zerodha and also towards the API of Algomojo becomes free for life free. So kindly make use of this facility. Open a new account if you don't already have it, Zerodha, using Algomojo as a referral. Now, once you have an account from Zerodha, you will need to generate the APIs of Zerodha and then get it registered in our website. That will be the first step. We will look at how do we do that. One moment. If you go to this place called, I think this site, this document will be available in our website. There's this brief video which explains how to do the integration or the get the APIs from Zerodha and get it registered with Algomojo. It's a simple process. You will need to go to first this developers.kite.trade uh, web page of Zerodha and generate. It'll ask you for your email ID and the password. Once you sign up there, you'll need to create an app in Zerodha. Say create an app like this, and you will get the API and the API secret from Zerodha, which you'll need to use. Now, when you create an app, it'll ask for some details. Give a name, and you will need to update your ID, Zerodha provided ID, and it'll ask for a redirect URL to be pasted. Kindly copy paste this from Algomojo into the website of Zerodha, this developer site of Zerodha, and you will need to update the last part of this line with the client ID provided by Zerodha. Just remove the flower brackets, just make it your client ID, something like this. As you can see here in this line, the last uh, part is the client ID provided by Zerodha. So you will need to update this against the app that you will create in their website for getting the Zerodha API and API secret. Right now, once you have, yeah, I think this is, once you have the API and API secret, copy those things, and you will need to get into Algomojo and register with us. So there's a button called register. Let me show you that. When you go to login, it will ask you to register now. Sorry. Yeah, it will ask you to register now, and it will ask you your name, and when you say which is the broker, say if it is Zerodha. Sorry, not an open, not this. It will ask for new registration. You will need to give your client ID, update your API. This is the Zerodha provided API and API secret. Both needs to be updated. Click on this agree button and submit. So your client ID and the Zerodha APIs will get registered with Algomojo. And after that, you will be able to use our platform. Now, this is the first step after you open an account with Zerodha. Create a new app, get the API key and the API secret of Zerodha, come to Algomojo and register those API key and API secret with Algomojo. And post that, you'll be able to access, you'll be able to log into Algomojo and you'll be able to do the automation process. So let me log into a Zerodha account, and we will look at how do we take the how do we do the next steps. Just once. So I will log into the Zerodha account, and it will ask for the client ID. Let me update the client ID. So it is the same broker provided credentials that you need to use. You need not have to create new credentials for using our platform. This one, I need to update the TOTP. Just trying to get the TOTP for this account. So once you log into this account, you'll get a dashboard which provides a brief about your funds and holdings and any open positions. Of course, when you're doing it for the first time, there will not be open positions. You will have a facility to create your own web watch list, from where you can place orders manually. Also, suppose you want to buy something like an ITC, you can go and place a manual order here. It will get processed, and it will be sent to your broker for order placements. Now, for all your trading and investment purpose, you can do with just one login to Algomojo website, except for your backend activities in terms of getting reports or adding funds or withdrawing funds. You will need to log into broker page. Otherwise, this one login will help you to do all your day-to-day activities in terms of trading and investments. So once you log in to the website, this is Zerodha. This is a login to the which we have done using Zerodha user ID. The first thing to do is to generate the APIs of Algomojo, which you can do from the first tab called API, My API. So as you can see on the left side, you have lots of tabs. Go to the first tab, and when you're entering for the first time, it asks you to generate the API. By default, once you click on that, you'll get 7 days trial period. And if you have opened the account with Algomojo as a referral, then the APIs of Algomojo will be extended for life. As you can see here, these are the API and API secrets, which are valid for about 9,000 plus days. So once you get the API, the next step is to do the specify what is that you want to trade using Algomojo. That is normally done before I get into that. So if you're doing a trial, so you get 7 days trial. Post 7 days trial, you will need to renew the API. So for any existing users of Zerodha, you will get 7 days trial. After the 7 days trial, you can go to this renew button there are multiple options for you to do the subscription. You have a monthly subscription, then you have half yearly and yearly. Monthly is close to 1,000 rupees. If you look at an annual basis, it works out to 500 rupees per month. So 6,000 rupees are the charges. So request you to kindly use the trial period. Just check how the platform works, and in case if you find that the platform is meeting all your trading and investment requirements, then get into the subscription method. Or if you have opened an account with Algomojo as the referral, nothing to worry. You will have this facility from Algomojo available free of cost for life. So get your APIs, the trial or the subscription or the free lifetime APIs. Then they get into the next step of how to do the setup for trading. There's a tab called My Strategies. Use this tab and create something called new strategy. Now, whatever strategies that you create will always be stored and be available for you whenever you want to use it. Normally, by default, it will be in an inactive state. You will need to enable them either for live trading or paper trading. Now, there are already some strategies which have been created for this account. We will start with a fresh strategy. Let's look at a new strategy like now, when you click on new strategy, there are some basic details that one needs to update. It will ask for the name for the strategy that you're trying to run. We will say that we will trade in Nifty futures demo, for example. Today is 8th. It can be any name. Then there are some rules which are preset. Now, these rules have been arrived after a lot of feedback from the traders and users, and also after looking at multiple strategies which people use for trading purposes. We have narrowed it down to about 5 rules. These rules are long only, short only, long plus short, buy sell, long plus short, buy sell, short cover, and stop and reversal. These are the 5 types of rules which are available. And it is pretty important that you select the right type of rule based on the kind of strategy that you are trying to run. In case if there's a mismatch in the rule that you have used and the way the strategy works, then there could be an issue in terms of the order placement. Now, what these rules do, how they operate, there's a small brief which you get if you hover the cursor on these rules. I'll also explain to you about each of these rules in relation to a chart. We will look at a chart and explain. I'll explain to you as to what rule is to be used and when. Now, for the first demo, we'll be using Super Trend as a strategy in TradingView. Super Trend, as you are aware, is a pretty popular strategy. A lot of people would have used or come across Super Trend as a strategy. It is a strategy which is always in trade, either in long or short. So for such kind of requirements, you will need to use this rule called stop and reverse. Select this rule. I will explain again when we get into a chart and see some of the signals on the chart and what type of rule to be used and what kind of condition. I'll explain it again. For super trend, the rule to be used is stop and reverse. How it works, again, I will explain when we get into the chart. The next is to select the segment that you want to trade, whether it is equities or whether it's futures and option, or if you want to trade in dynamic options. Now, since we are looking at futures, I will use this option called futures and option. And we'll need to also select the symbol that we want to trade. If you type in the first few letters of the symbol, you'll get a drop down. Kindly select the contract from the drop down. So we'll select Nifty futures. Order type is either normal or MIS, normal for positional trading, MIS for intraday. So depending on your requirement, make the selection. Price is by default market. As of now, there are no limit prices or any other form of pricing flexibility available. We will be coming out with those kind of options at pretty shortly. So then you will have the limit and stop loss limit and stop loss market, all those options available. Currently, leave it. You can go with the default value, which is market, and you can select. You'll need to specify how many lots you want to trade. For example, if you want to trade in 100 lots of Nifty futures, type in that. You will get the quantity also based on the instrument and the lot that you select. And if the quantity is more than the freeze limit set by the exchange, we will take care of the splitting. For Nifty futures, the freeze limit is 1800. So we will place multiple orders to fulfill this requirement of 7,500 quantity that we want to trade. Now, these are basic things that one is expected to update in terms of when you're trading for intraday or for personal also. However, there are certain optional facilities such as you can set the target and stop loss. Now, in case if your system is taking care of target and stop loss, you can ignore the entire portion of this, and you can ignore the entire portion here. Otherwise, if you want to use the target on stop loss from Algomojo, you can set it in terms of percentage, points, or entire. If you set points and you can set stop loss also in terms of MTM, and log profit can also be done. So depending on your requirements, choose the selection, choose these fields appropriately. Otherwise, you can leave it to the blank, to the default values. Now, the next segment in the screen is the start time, end time, and square off time. Now, basically, if you want to trade by default, you can trade between 9:15 to 3:30 if it is the NSE, BSE markets. If it's MCX, it can go on till late in the night. So you can leave it to the default values if you want to take all the trades during the day, or if you want to make any changes as to the timings when you want to trade, you can set that appropriately. Say you want to trade from 11 o'clock till say 2:30, you can set the start time as 11 o'clock and end time as 3 p.m. So only signals coming in during this period will be processed and orders will be placed. Now, there are other things like if you want to roll over and how many days before you want to roll over and what time do you want to do the rollover. These are the settings which you can do in this part of the web page. Otherwise, there's no other thing to be updated here apart from these mandatory things which are there in terms of instrument, in terms of lot, in terms of whether it's personal or MIS kind of trades that you want to do. Once these selections are done, you'll need to update this or save this. Just say submit. Then for the strategy that you want to trade, there'll be a unique webhook URL that will be generated. By default, it will be masked. In case you want to see that, you can look at it from here. This basically contains the entire information in terms of your API, from where we will be able to identify who this user is and what is that he wants to trade and which broker does he want to trade. In this case, it is Zerodha, and the strategy number is what you see here. This will have the contents like what is the instrument, what law, how many lots, whether it is positional or um, it is MIS. All those details are provided like here. And once the webhook URL we will be using the webhook URL in both TradingView and Amibroker, even charting also, or MT4 also. So whenever the signals are received from these charting tools, we will be able to make out who the user and what orders need to be placed. So this will be unique to each strategy that you create. And below that, you will see a section called TradingView, which will have certain codes like strategy with symbol, indicator, and indicator with symbol. Now, these are the things which you will be using for doing the automation setup in TradingView. So all you need to do as a user would be to copy this webhook URL and the code provided by us here and update it in your chart. That is all is required in terms for the automation purpose. There's no other activity or there's no other changes to be done in the code that you're trying to run, in which the strategy code that you're trying to automate. It's a simple copy paste that you need to do. So whatever content required is provided here. You need to copy this and also copy this and paste it into your chart. So after this first step, we will look at a trading view strategy and see how do we do that as such. Um, Once you update this, let's say go back and by default, it will be in inactive state. You can enable for live trade or paper trade. Always start with the paper trade. Try it out for a day or two, and once you get the feel as to how the orders are getting processed or how the signals are getting processed, if the orders getting processed or placed as per your requirements, whether it is options or whether it is futures or it could be commodities, it could be stocks. Once you're convinced that the orders are going as per what you were looking at, then you can get into live trade. So always start with the paper trade. Ensure that the orders are getting processed as per your requirement. There might be situations you may need to tweak the strategy rule, which is the most critical part, so that there'll be no mistakes in terms of the orders getting processed. Uh, Otherwise, if the orders are flowing as per your requirement, you can get into live trade. Now, every day morning when you log in, this will be in inactive state. You will need to enable it for live trade or paper trade. Now, kindly log in to the Algomojo account, say close to the market open time around 8:45, 9 o'clock. That's because, as you're aware, most brokers, or all brokers, will be doing the maintenance activities during the night time, and they will provide us a fresh token once that activity is completed, and they will definitely be ready close to the market open timings as such. Don't log in pretty early. Now, there are people who, if they're planning to travel, or there are people who are abroad, if they log in, say at 4 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning, we would not have the fresh token for that particular day for placement of orders. So the orders could get rejected. The signals could get rejected, saying invalid session or invalid token, and the orders will not be placed. So please log in around the market open time only, around 8:45, 9 o'clock. After that, I come here and then come to this my strategies and enable for live or paper trade. And after that, there's no intervention required. Even in case if your say internet is down or your system has crashed, or if you have to go out somewhere, you will not be in front of the system. No issues at all. You can shut down your computer and carry on. Only thing that you're not expected to do is log out from this page. Don't go to this tab and say log out. If you log out, then the session gets completed and no orders will be placed. So just be careful not to log in, but otherwise you can close the browser, close the system. But so whenever the signals are coming in from whichever charting tool where you're deployed, it will be processed and orders will be placed. So just take care of these two requirements: one, to enable the paper trade or live trade, and second, not to log out from the system. Right. So once we have done the setup, we next get into the uh, chart and see what needs to be done there. So let's look at the chart. Yeah, we will be looking at TradingView today. So you will need the subscription from for automation. The trading view subscription. So you will need to have the basic subscription at least. The free version doesn't support the webhook URL, so you will need to have a trading view subscription. And once you have a subscription and you have a strategy, you can automate the signals which coming in. Now the super trend is already preloaded, as you can see here, right? One moment. Yeah, super trend is already preloaded. Um, As you're aware, it is always in trade, either long or short. So whenever these buy and sell signals are getting generated, requirement would be to place these orders into the broker account without any intervention. Now, first step is to identify the instrument that you want to trade. Say, for example, in this case, we have taken Nifty. The next step is to identify the time frame that you want to trade in. Right. Now set these two and then load your strategy that you would have back tested and you would like to take orders from that strategy. Once your strategy is loaded, then you need to create an alert. The way to do that is you can bring in any strategy which is available in TradingView, either the free versions or the locked versions, or you would have got some Python script coding done already, which will generate these signals. You can bring in any of those strategies and also indicators. We will look at how to use an indicator also to place an order. Now, the step to add an alert is on the strategy. If you click on these three dots and say more, you will get an option to add a strategy, add an alert. So click on that. So it will open up a small pop-up box. In the message box, whatever is by the default content, please remove that and then paste the content from the strategy that you would have created in Algomojo. So go to Algomojo again. Okay, this is what we created for trading in Nifty futures. Go down here and copy this code and paste it here. And give a name. For example, we can say that this is Nifty futures 50. Okay. And you need to update the webhook URL. By default, if there's anything there, please remove that and copy the webhook URL from the strategy page that you have just created. This is what we created for trading Nifty futures. So copy this, just say click on this and it will get copied onto the webhook URL will be copied. Come to TradingView and paste it here. Right. So these are the only two things that needs to be updated in TradingView, and say create. So whatever static alerts that you create will be visible on the right side. So as you can see here, this is again a one-time setup. You need not have to do this every day. Whatever alert you create will be available for you any point in time you want to use this, right? So now the current trend, the Nifty, as you can see, the super trend is running on buy mode. Suppose you say that, okay, I want to take this trade because I feel that the market is going to extend or continue moving up, and I would like to get into this trade. And after that, allow the strategy to run automatically. I don't want to interfere. Let all the signals coming in from TradingView, let that be handled by the TradingView and Algomojo. All you have to do is take this first trade in case if you want to. Otherwise you can wait for the next signal to come. So when a sell comes, it will be automatic, it will be triggered and the order will be placed automatically. So but if you want to get into this trade in between, because it's the buy is already given and you want to take this trade, and the method to do that would be that go to Algomojo here and against the strategy that you have created. This is for paper trade. You can generate a signal to buy from here itself. So you can, if you want to take a trade and then after that leave it to the APIs to handle your trades, please do it from here and not from your mobile or from the broker web page directly, because we will not know that you have taken a position apart from EPN. You have taken a position manually. So the only way to say that to the system that this position has been taken if you do it from here. So since we want to take a buy position, we'll come to this place called generate signal and say buy. So the buy signal gets generated and it will be visible under my signals. As you can see here, it shows that manual buy signal has been generated. So any trades that happen through API will be visible under this tab called my signals, right? So in this web page, you will have multiple tabs. The first tab shows you the details of all the signals that would come in. And the second tab is the orders. What are the orders that are placed? And the third tab is the positions. As you can see, the order has been placed. Multiple orders have been placed because we had chosen 100 lots to be placed. So in one uh, from one signal, multiple orders have been placed, and the position currently running is 7,500. quantity of Nifty futures of October in paper trade mode. So as you can see, sometimes the prices may not be updated because of the response in terms of API. If you do a refresh, you'll be able to get what will be the profit and loss for this account as such, right? So and if you have any holdings, that will be visible under this. And in case there are multiple trades which are taken, all those trades realized profit and loss will be provided here. A summary of all the trades and taken during the day will be visible here. So coming back to the chart, yeah. Now we have taken the portion manually. Now this might get into a short shortly. So what happens is when the short is generated here, this short signal will be picked up by TradingView and sent across to Algomojo because in the webhook URL we have said that it has to be sent to Algomojo. And once it comes to Algomojo, we'll identify which client this belongs to. And for that client, what needs to be traded will be interpreted from that content in the webhook URL. And what needs to be done will be understood by us in terms of action, whether buy or sell, and we will place orders accordingly. So that is all is this process involved in terms of automation. It's a simple copy paste of two things: message box to be updated, like here. This whatever is the default value which is there, you need to remove that and then update it with what we have given here. This content has to be copied and pasted, and this webhook URL needs to be copied and pasted. Those are all the only steps that are required for your automation. So you can bring in any strategy, or it could be any study. Using that, you can automate the signals for placement of orders. Now, while we are waiting for the signal to come in, we can look at, I was mentioning about the importance of the rule that are available and which needs to be used. Now, there are 5 rules. One is the long only, second is the short only, third is long plus short, fourth is long plus short, buy, sell, short cover, and the fifth is the stop and reverse. Now, if your strategy is something like a super trend, it is always in trade, it is always in trade, either long or short, then it means that when a long is signal, you will want to take a long trade. It could be in futures, it could be in options, it could be a CE even. And when a short comes, you want the long trade to be closed and the short to be taken. So that's why they stop the long trade and take the reverse of that. So if a CE is running, we want the CE to be stopped and the PE to be taken. Or if it is a long in futures, long of futures need to be closed and a short in futures need to be taken. So that is why the stop and reverse kind of rule will be applicable for such kind of strategies. These are strategies or these are rules to be used for strategies which are always in trade, either long or short. Now, you will have strategies which are not always in trade. It could so happen that it will take a trade for something like a sell here, and there could be a stop loss or a target. Say, for example, there could be a target and the position will get closed here. And after that, there may not be any trade for some time. So it is intermittently in trade, either long or short. So it could be multiple sells coming in after intermittently. For example, it will give it will close the trade here with the target met, and it might trigger one more sell here, and the target could be met, and the portion would be taken out, and there could be no trades. And here again, you have a long, and there could be a short stop loss, and after that, no trades. It is intermittently in trade. For such kind of strategies, there's a different rule to be used. The rule to be used would be something like buy, sell, and short in cover. So, which would be that, as you can see here. Let me take a fresh page. So you have the long plus short, buy, sell. Can we use this rule? Now, long plus short, buy, sell, short cover in case this is more we see in Amibroker kind of environment, but very rarely we come across short and cover in TradingView. Of course, there are strategies or codes developed to send short and cover. So if your chart is sending short and cover, kindly use this code. So for strategies which are intermittently in trade. not continuously like this, but intermittently in trade. So now, if you're a trader and you feel that you want to take only short trades because market is going to trend down, uh, so you don't want any long trades to be taken, then use a rule called short only. That is, whenever there's a sell coming in, it will take a short trade, and whenever there's a long coming in, it will close the short taken and not take any new portion at all. Now, the opposite of that would be long only. Suppose you want to trade only long trades and not you don't want to take any short positions, then use long only. So when a buy comes, it will take the long position. When the sell is happening, it will close the long position and wait for the next buy to be generated. Till then, it will not take any new position. So these are the various rules which are available. Be clear as to what is applicable for your kind of requirement. Only then select the appropriate rule. In case you have any confusion, you want any assistance, there's a if you hover around these rules, it will give you a small explanation as to what it does, like what it does, and there's a small explanation here. Now, in case if you need more information or need some assistance in terms of understanding and relating what codes to be used, what rule to be used, do get in touch with us. I'll share the help desk number. Our support team will be able to log in and help you in terms of understanding what rule will be applicable for your kind of requirements, right? So important that you select the right rule, otherwise the orders may not go as per your strategy requirements. Just be careful in this. Yes. Now, while we were looking at the different types of rules, we have a short signal which has got generated. As you can see, the log, the short has been generated around 12 o'clock, 12.0303 time. Let's look at what has happened to this signal in Algomojo. So here, if you go to the My Signal section, as you can see here, the sell signal has come at 12.0302. It is a sell. So we have taken a manual long or position. Now sell has come. So the order has got processed. And whatever long positions were there, it was closed, and a short position in futures has been taken. So this can keep running. So whenever there's a signal coming in for long short, it will keep running for you. All you have to do is log into Algomojo in the morning, and TradingView anyway is a one-time setup that you need to do. After that, it is always running for you. The alert creation is a one-time activity. It will be available for you whenever you want to use it, and you can pause it also if you don't want to use it, and it can keep running for you without any intervention. It's as simple as that in terms of doing the automation process. No complication at all. You need not have to get into the code of this strategy, what is written, or do any modifications in those code for sending the orders for to Zerodha for placements. Nothing of that sort is required. So all you have to do is in your strategy, go to the section called Add Alert and update this message box and update the correct webhook URL. That's it. The signals, whenever they are generated on the screen, whichever strategy you are running, it will be processed and orders will be placed for you. So it's a we have tried to keep this whole process user friendly, as simple as possible. No complication involved. It's just to copy paste the message box content and the webhook URL to be copied. That's it. Once you set this alert, um, all signals sent by TradingView will be processed and sent across to Zerodha. Now, we act as a bridge between your broker, Zerodha, and the TradingView, or it could be Amibroker or charting any NT4, any of these tools. And since we don't do any kind of processing intermediately in the intermediate, the signals are passed on to your broker for placements pretty pretty much fast. You will experience it. You can check it out using the paper trade or even the live trades, and you will see that the orders get processed and placed pretty fast. There's no overheads that gets added in our platform which could delay the order placement. The placements of orders, of processing and placement of orders happens in milliseconds, nanoseconds kind of thing. Yeah. Again, as I was mentioning, you can bring in any strategy. The process for setting the alert is the same. All you have to do is load your strategy and add alert. That's it. After that, it will keep running for you. Now, in case if you have any indicator that you want to use for placement of orders, the process is slightly different, but it's again, we try to keep it as simple as possible. Now, let's look at an indicator, something like an RSI. Suppose you want to trade, load your indicator in whatever time frame and whatever instrument that you're trying to trade. And once your indicator is loaded, uh, go to again these three dots and say add alert. As you can see, the pop-up is slightly different. We have to specify under what condition the buy or sell has to be triggered and when should it trigger, whether it is once only, once per bar close or once per bar minute, those kind of things. These are some fields which you need to update based on your study. And in the, for indicator kind of automation, you will need to create two alerts, one for entry and another one for exit. Now, say in this case, if the RSI is below 20, it is interpreted that it could start moving up, and they would like people would like to take a long position. So, how do we do a setup for that? All you have to do is go to this add alert and say if the RSI is going to cross up a value of, say, for example, 25 here, and you want it to be triggered only if the bar closes. That's it. So you create this alert, and in the message box, you have to update with this code. Go to Algomojo again. For indicators, we give you a separate code for buy, sell, short, and cover. So you can say that you want to buy if the RSI is moving up 25. So copy this code from here and then paste it into your message box. Give a name, say option long entry, for example. And webhook URL again, copy it, whatever is the default, remove that and copy it from here. And update it here. So since the RSI has already moved up, let me try and make a small change here. I'll say that if the RSI value moves above 70, say 70, I want the long to be triggered. You can say create. So any indicator-based entry or exits that you generate will be displayed on the screen itself. As you can see here, you will be able to see this level of 70 for this alert that you have added. So if the RSI closes above this, then it will so happen that it will buy the CE for you. Now, this is again a one-time creation. You can create it and then maybe shift it dynamically on the screen itself. You can move it up and down. Suppose you feel that tomorrow you will get a chance around 20. You can do that. You can drag it down to 20, or you want to keep it at a different level. You can just either drag it here on the screen itself, or you can go and change those values here also. So it will be updated and it will be visible on the screen itself. Let me try and keep it slightly lower. So it is still not triggered. So if the RSI closes above this level of around 60 that we have set, it will trigger a buy order. Now, this is for the entry. For exit, if you want to say that, okay, if the RSI goes above, for example, 80 and starts coming down, you will need to create another alert for exit. Easiest method would be to go to the alert that you created, right click on that and say clone. So it creates an exact copy of whatever you just did, but you need to edit it, saying that instead of crossing up, say crossing down, a value of say 65. And again, once bar close, and in the message, instead of buy, make it as sell. And here we will say long exit. and save. So you have yeah. So you have long entry and long exit, right? So both the arrows are visible here. You can shift it. I will say that okay, instead of 75, make it something like 78 long exit, 73 or 80, anywhere. So it will get shifted on the screen. It will be visible for you also. So when RSI now closes below this level, it will close the long position taken and take the short position. While we were waiting, it has got long entry has been triggered, so that order would have got processed. Right. So now, if the RSI goes up and starts coming down and closes below this level of 80, the long position taken will be closed and the short position will be taken, because that is the rule that we have set for saying that it has to be stop and reverse. That is, take a long and also take a short whenever exit is happening of the long. So that is all are the steps required to automate any indicator. It can be any indicator. So all you have to do is select the time frame and the symbol and load your indicator and create two alerts, one for entry and one for exit. That's it. So for indicator, use set two alerts for entry and exit. If for strategies, set one alert. As long as your strategy is giving buy and sell signals, one alert is sufficient. So it is as simple a process as that, of just two copy paste to be done. Um, and the whatever needs to be copied and pasted, um, the details are given by us. All you have to do is take it from there and update it on your screen, on your chart. Right? Now you could also use things like, suppose if the price say reaches this resistance level of around say 120, you feel that this is a resistance. If you want to short it when the price reaches this level, you can do that also. All you need to do is put in your levels, say put a horizontal, draw your resistance level or support levels, and then create an alert. So you all you say if you want to short it, if the price goes above this and starts coming down, just update it on the screen, the level. Right click on that and say add alert, and say that if the price crosses down, we want the price to go up and start coming down. And if the price closes below that line, we want a sell to be taken, is what we are updating here. And in the message box, we'll put a condition of sell. Copy this code and update it here. And you can give a name, trend line short entry, and update the webhook URL and create it. Yeah, I have a lot of other strategies running, so I'm not able to load everyone. So all the other ones. Let me stop one or two which we just created, and you just say create. So the resistance or stop loss kind of levels can also be specified. And again, these are all one-time activity that you need to do. And once you've done the setup, it's always available. And you want to change the levels, all you have to do is just go drag it up or down. Suppose you feel that this is the resistance level for say tomorrow. You want to take a short trade when if the price comes there. So you can keep pulling it up or pulling it down. And whenever price reaches those levels, the orders will be triggered. Another popular usage, what we have seen in, or many people follow is in terms of trend line breakouts or trend line breakdowns. So based on that also you can trigger an order. So all you have to do is draw your trend line. And if you say that, okay, if the price crosses or breaks out of this trend line, I want an order to be placed for long, put in your study, right click on that and say add alert. Similar thing, say crossing up I want a buy to be triggered, just give the signal as instead of sell, make it buy, and update with the webhook URL, give it a name. You can say trend line long entry, for example, and say create. So these are always available for you, and you can keep moving them around. Suppose you feel that okay, tomorrow you want to take a broader range, so you can shift the trend lines, and whenever the price reach crosses above that, the order can get triggered. Suppose you don't want to use that trend line, but you have created it, you can leave it in the system by say pausing it. For example, just say pause. Whatever alert that you would have created will not trigger the orders, and it will not be sent for processing. So you can bring in any kind of study and automate based on those studies. You can send these signals from the chart either to take a long entry or a short entry from the signals itself based on various kind of studies, price actions, indicators, or strategies. And the entire setup is just a creation of alert. And for creating an alert, all you have to do is copy paste the content in the message box and the webhook URL. Both are provided by Algomojo. Just copy paste them, and you're all set for processing the orders automatically. So you need not, as you're aware, TradingView is available in the cloud and it is always running. So whenever those conditions are met, the orders will be signals will be sent across for entry or exits, buy or sell, short or cover, and uh, the orders will be sent across to Zerodha for placements. Now, these are some steps involved for automation. Coming back to our screen, our presentation, as I was mentioning, it's a two-step process. One is what you define in Algomojo that you want to trade, like whether you want to trade in Nifty, futures, or options, or cash market, intraday. All those settings need to be done as a strategy in Algomojo, one-time activity. Then create an alert in TradingView, and again a one-time activity based on the signals that get generated from your charting tool. The orders can get processed and placed in the account. The process for what we saw was based on we saw some examples of super trend and RSI and trend line based actions. You can bring in any strategy. It is not that the automation is dependent on the strategy. Your strategy should have a facility to add alerts for buy or sell. Um, if that is being done, you create one alert and the signals will be processed. If it is indicators, you will need to create two alerts for entry and exits, either long or short. Based on those signals getting triggered, the orders can be placed. The process is similar. It can be any strategy. All you have to do is select the symbol, select the time frame in which you want trying to trade, and load your strategy. And once your strategy is loaded, click on the More button and create an alert. Uh, while creating an alert, you will need to update the message box, copy it from Algomojo, the actions, and then update the webhook URL again given by Algomojo, and you're ready for uh, processing of signals. That's all is the steps involved. Now, if it is an indicator, the pop-up box that you need to update will be slightly different compared to a strategy. If for indicators or price-based action, you will need to also specify what are the condition to be met to generate a buy or a sell signal, and when should it be triggered, whether it should be triggered for after the close of the bar or a touch of a level kind of thing. And message box content is given by us by Algomojo. Copy that and paste it for either buy or sell, and then update the webhook URL. That's it, you're done. The setup is done, and once the conditions are met, signals will be generated and sent across for processing. Now, indicators, the conditions could be slightly different. It could be like crossing up or crossing down, depending on what study you're trying to use. So be careful in terms of selecting the right condition and also selecting the right triggers. Now, if you're an options trader, strategy trader, and you would like to do the setup for multiple legs, kindly visit a blog called algomojo.com/blog. We have given an explanation of how to do the setup for close to 17 strategies, a step-by-step process of setting it up. The option strategies is explained in this blog. Kindly have a look at it and do the setup. In case if you need any assistance, feel free to get in touch with us. We are there to support you. We are available from 9 to 5 on all trading days and on Saturdays from 10 to 5. You can reach us on WhatsApp 81055 That's our WhatsApp number. You can give us a call on 8550 and or you can raise a ticket. There's a facility to raise a ticket, or you can send us an email for if for any queries that needs to be addressed. Our team will quickly get in touch with you and provide you with whatever assistance and resolutions that might be required. Thanks a lot. My name is Lokesh, and in case if you have any coding requirement for TradingView or Amibroker kind of platforms, we do take up those as a special case. Kindly send in your requirements to this email ID, Lokesh@Infolab. We will check the feasibilities and come back to you with the time and the cost involved. And in case if you'd like to take it forward, we are there to help you out. Our blog is algomojo.com/blog, wherein all the key features and how to use them are explained. Kindly visit them in case you need more details on how to do the setups and how the features work. You'll get an idea about all the platform functionalities. Thanks. That's it. Our website is algomojo.com. In case if you need any further information, please do get in touch with us. Thanks once again.